Mile swim around the world will happen when I'm 50, a couple years from now. In 1997, Captain Charles Moore sailed out from Honolulu and entered the North Pacific subtropical gyre. What he encountered horrified him and his crew. He described it as crossing a sea the size of a small continent, covered with floating refuge. It was not unlike an Arctic vessel pushing through chunks of brash ice, except what was bobbing around was a freight of cups, bottle caps, tangles of fish netting, and monofilament line, bits of polystyrene packaging, six-pack rings, spent balloons, filmy scraps of sandwich wrap, and limp plastic bags that defied counting. Other oceanographers call this floating debris an anathema, or more popularly, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. What Captain Moore came across was a concentrated flotsam due to the swirling action of the gyre. But it is a misconception to think that this is like an island. It is more like plastic soup. This is a sample collected by the staff of the Aguilita Marine Research Foundation. That's Captain Charles Moore's foundation. And it was taken from the Pacific Gyre from a trawl net at the surface, and it was for about the length of a football field. That's the area. So I'll pass that around, and you can see that it is like a soup. Today, I'm going to talk to you about three major concerns regarding this plastic soup, not just floating in the Pacific, but in all our oceans. The first issue concerning plastic pollution is that plastic does not really decompose, especially in the ocean. According to Dr. Anthony Andrade, a senior scientist at North Carolina's Research Triangle, every bit of plastic manufactured in the world for the last 50 years or so still remains. It's somewhere in the environment. Trash Talk article writer Bucky McMahon put it this way: all the plastic ever manufactured, the billiard balls of the 1870s, the nylon stockings of the 1930s, every tiddlywink and bit of sandwich wrap is still somewhere among us. Plastic doesn't go away. It just breaks down into smaller pieces. NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, calls these smaller pieces microplastics, and they are less than 5 millimeters long. That's what they break into, or even less, and less than half a millimeter in diameter. Microplastics are the main ingredients for this plastic soup. The second issue of concern with plastic pollution is that plastic attracts and accumulates other pollutants. Dr. Marcus Erickson of the Five Gyres Institute has been researching plastic pollution in the ocean since 2004 and has found that microplastics are persistent organic compounds that attract other pollutants in the environment, like DDT, PCBs, flame retardants, and other industrial chemicals. According to NOAA, plastic debris accumulates pollutants such as PCBs up to 100,000 to 1,000,000 times the levels found in seawater. Plastic's ability to absorb and release chemicals concentrates the poison of its soup. The third and most gut-wrenching problem is this plastic soup is ingested by marine life. I've brought a sample for you today of a bolus from an albatross chick that was collected on one of the atolls near Hawaii by researchers of the Okeanos Foundation. This is a typical sample of the size and contents being collected from dead albatross birds on these atolls and islands. And you're almost done, Carl, but I hope everyone's had lunch already. So you can pick through it. This plastic didn't come in the bird's tummy, but the rest did. The third and most gut-wrenching problem, oh, I said that already, excuse me.
Thanks, everybody.
Dr. Heidi Allman, who works for the Institute of Marine and Antarctic Studies, has been studying the albatross problem at Midway Atoll for over 8 years. She has found plastic in 663 species, including fish and other marine life, and 24 different seabirds. It's a vicious cycle. Plastic gets into the ocean, 80% from the land, according to Captain Charles Moore, and it breaks down into confetti, little pieces that absorb poisonous chemicals and look like food to marine life, who eat it, and then the cycle eventually ends up back to us when we eat deep sea fish. The plastic pollution in the oceans around the world is a huge challenge, and scientists are still trying to figure out the scope and magnitude of it and what the possibilities are for cleaning it up. It will probably take years to figure it out, but there is something that each of us can do right now. We can reduce our use of plastic, especially single-use plastic like straws and coffee cup lids. And another really bad one that people are just finding out about are the facial scrubs with microbeads. If you see that, do not buy it. Get the ones with apricot holes or rice or strawberry holes. I want to leave you with a list of ways to kick the plastic habit. I downloaded it from the Plastic Coalition's website. Dr. Erickson says, plastic is made to last forever and designed to throw away. Let's do our part to make sure we don't add to the ocean's pot of plastic soup. Madam Postmaster.